to the reading blogs with the first blog of the year. I hope you have gotten nicely into the new year. I had really little sleep because I'm not good with noise when I want to sleep, and the fireworks didn't stop for the night. Also, we lost water yesterday evening, which was kind of interesting. In Berlin, like one of the main water lines had a burst pipe, and so a lot of Berlin lost water last night, and so we were also with that. So that was kind of not so nice because you have fireworks flying all around you and no water to do anything if something bad would have happened. So we were really lucky that nothing happened. Um, but yeah, it was kind of like an exciting night. Let's be honest. But yeah, a new year, new reading goals, new books, and I started with one today and I am loving it already. This is one of the books I bought. I think I will give you like a small haul this week once they are all here. They are supposed to be here by Friday, so 2 days from now. No, it is Wednesday. Yeah, 2 days from now. So I will give you a haul of them all then. But I started directly with the one I didn't know this existed. This is Absolution by Jeff Vandermeer, and it is a Southern Reach novel. If you don't know, the Southern Reach trilogy is Area X or Annihilation is the first one of them, and that is also the one that the movie was made about. And this is the fourth novel in that series now. I didn't know that he wrote it. I saw it when I was looking online for what I wanted to order, and it was recommended to me. It came out last year in 2024, so it isn't like old or anything. But yeah, this is pretty much like the story that comes before Annihilation, and I am loving it. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely get that these books aren't for everyone. I can totally understand everyone who doesn't like these books. I think they are pretty peculiar when it comes to them, but I love them so much. I love the Southern Reach trilogy, and this one is just as good in my opinion. I really enjoy it. I am 140 pages in, like I read 140 pages today. I'm really into it. It is pretty much the book starts a few decades before Area X got started, and we are mainly with like one character. But we start like a few decades before, and we get the scenario that kind of started more or less all of the weird stuff around the coast and the lighthouse and all of the stuff out of Annihilation. And we have like a group of biologists who do stuff and they start experiencing weird things, which I'm not going to go into detail. I think you need to read it for yourself. I think it's also great to first read the Southern Reach trilogy and then go back with this book. I think it works quite well because we never get all of the answers, and this kind of gives us the origin story, but nonetheless, it doesn't give us any answers. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, and so we get that whole story, what happened there, and we get it told through Old Jim. And Old Jim is our main character, and he works for the company Central. Is the name of it. And he works for them, and he pretty much talks through the footage he gets and the notebooks he gets from those biologists that were in the group. And then we skip to 18 months before Area X is kind of founded, which is still quite a bit before Annihilation, but like you only, like to really understand it, you have to read all three of the other books. And so we are 18 months before that even gets founded, and he has to go in himself. He has suffered a few things in the meantime, and they get him back on track, and they get him back, and he is supposed to go in and find out what happened. And that is pretty much the point where I'm at right now, at 140 pages, and I am loving it. It is as cryptic as the other ones. It is as corrupt as the other ones. We don't know who we can trust when it comes to the people in the book, and I'm loving it so much. It works so well for me with these books. Also, I love the design of the book, I have to say. I don't know. I think the design of the cover is wonderful. I'm really loving it. But yeah, I think I, I don't think the books are for everyone. I totally get why they don't have the best reviews online. I just love them. For me, these are the perfect mysterious books that have unreliable narrators. You don't really know what you can trust. Everything is a mystery. Nothing really gets told, but it is still such a great read, and I love the story, and we do get hints and stuff, but it's much more about your own imagination pretty much than what the books like tell you. There are some things that get cleared up, but like we only get like parts of the story like in all of the books. But yeah, I'm loving them. I'm sorry, I could gush about them all the time. So yeah, I had to pick this up directly because I got it yesterday, no, on Monday, so 2 days ago, and I had to pick it up as the first book of this year because I did want to start on a really, really good note. So yeah, that is what I will be continuing reading. I'm also knitting and crocheting. I started a new crochet project. Let me show you real quick. I'm crocheting myself a striped sweater to like throw over in like a double crochet, and yeah, I'm loving it so far. And I'm also still knitting. I don't know if I can show you that really in any good way, but I'm currently knitting the arm. I'm not far. It takes me forever because I'm not the biggest fan of the knitting where you split your stitches in half when you knit in the round, and then you have to, I don't know, it has a name. I might just look up if I can find the name. But yeah, you have to like, instead of being able to knit in the round directly, you have to keep the stitches half and then switch the needles over. And I don't love it, but it's the only way to do the arms, so I will have to do that. But I'm really slow with that, so you know, I'm doing the crochet project when I'm tired from the knitting, so I'm switching between the two. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that is happening. I have off until Friday, and then on Monday work starts up again, so I have a few days off still, that I can relax. I finished playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which was a really nice game. I 100% completed that yesterday, waiting for like the fireworks to start, and so I need to find a new game to play. I don't know what I want to do yet when it comes to that, but yeah, that is kind of the start into the year. um I don't know, it was not a bad start but also not a great start, but you know, the reading is going great, and that is all that I care about right now, to be honest. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow. We'll see how much I will read tomorrow, but yeah, I will definitely finish that book by Friday at the latest. So I will see you with a reading update. Okay, it is now the 2nd of January. It is Tuesday. Thursday, not Tuesday. Oh my god, I am really, really tired today, even though I slept a lot better than the night before. But I did want to give you an update. Also, if you can hear the oven, I'm really sorry. My kitchen is there. We don't have a door or anything, and I'm currently baking my dog's dog treats. So yeah, I'm sorry. There are, but it's nicer sitting here than on my desk. I did read quite a bit more of Absolution today. As you can see, I made my way quite a lot through. I think I have like a third of the book left, which I will definitely finish this tomorrow. But yeah, I'm loving the book. I can absolutely see flaws in the book. I don't know why, but for me, there are things in this book that I 100% know would annoy me in other books, but in this one, it is just so fitting that I just don't really care about them. And I don't know if that's hypocritical of me. Um, you know, when I like criticize other books for doing the same things, but not this one. But it works out so well. Like our main character, he gets a fake daughter put on the job with him. Like the woman has to pretend to be his daughter for like what he's doing, and in the field, and they get off on the wrong foot because of what the company is doing, and he really like kind of fucks up a little bit in the beginning, but then also like they have like a kind of weird dynamic, but like the dynamic grows really nicely, and it's so nice. And now there's like some other drama, and like our main character is like really getting his shit together, and it's so nice. It's like working out really, really well. Like, he makes a lot of mistakes and stuff like this. He's a really jaded main character, I would say, but he does his best, even though at times I want to throw him against the wall because he's kind of stubborn, but like in an annoying way. But it just fits the book. And then pretty much we have like a lot of like hinted at plot twists, I would call them. They aren't like really plot twists because we have no confirmation of that is if that is actually what is happening, but it is implied, and so they are kind of implied plot twists, and I kind of enjoy them a lot, even though I hated when books do like unnecessary plot twists that were kind of like more or less obvious. I feel like some of these were obvious, but like because they are just hinted at and we have no confirmation and everything is a mystery, it kind of fits. I don't know. I'm really sorry if none of this makes a lot of sense, but I just do not want to spoil you anything of this book because I think these books are really ruined by spoilers. I think it's I had the same thing with my partner because he never read the books, but he did watch Annihilation with me, and the movie, it does get the gist of the book, but it is kind of different. I feel like they are two alternative versions of one another, but I do love them both equally. Like, I really love Annihilation, the movie. I think it's a great movie, personally, but the book is kind of quite different. But if you've only watched the movie, then talking about the books is so nonsensical because he had such a different impression through the movie that, like, kind of gets explained through the books. Like, for example, my partner was like, yeah, but like they aren't the first expedition that gets sent in the movie. They are like the second one. And I was like, no, they aren't the second one. They are like the 40th one or more, because in the books there are a lot more explanations, but you don't get them in the first book. You have to read the series for that. And so that is with this book as well. I think like you have to look at it in the realm of the series. You can't really read this as a standalone, obviously, because then you just don't get a lot of the stuff. I feel like this book, obviously you can read this as the first book because you don't really need the clues of like the other three, but I feel like if you know the other three books and you know what happened in them, this one is like a lot more like, oh yeah, we know how fucked up this all is, and yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really sorry I could gush about it all day long, but I'm really, really enjoying it. And yeah, it's giving me a lot of joy. It's the best book I could have started this year with. And yeah, we'll see how the ending is. I'm really interested to see where it goes. We have like a lot of like, I would say it's like a fight for who is boss. That is kind of where we're at right now. At the same time, our main character is still investigating where he was sent, even though the fight who is like the main guy in the corporation kind of makes it hard for him, even though the corporation initially wanted to have the results, he still hasn't. And then we also learn a lot about a technique that is used in the Annihilation, like in the Southern Reach trilogy. And it's cool to see like the experiments and what it then becomes in like the later books. So it is really, really interesting. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really sorry. I'm going to stop gushing about the books now. Yeah, other than that, I'm still crocheting. I'm finishing my crochet project before I continue with the knitting because it's a quick project and I kind of want to wear it. I have like a deadline. I don't think I will make the deadline, but I have like a deadline in my head, which I won't tell you because then I will feel really bad if I can't make the deadline, which is kind of realistic that I will not make it. So yeah, but I'm kind of trying to get that done so I can wear it, but we'll see. I will give you an update once you can see something and it's not just a crocheted fabric. And yeah, as you can also hear probably, I'm also obviously baking for my dog, and we got our groceries delivered today. My partner has his first day back at work today, so it's a full day today. But like for me, it's a full day of hobbies, so that's really nice. But yeah, I will check in with you tomorrow. We'll see how this ends. We'll see what the emotions are. And yeah, I'm also getting back into my workouts because I couldn't with my foot and I had to buy some new shoes today, which I really hated having to do that. But because of my little toe is still really hurting, which seems to be normal. I have gotten a lot of feedback from people who also broke their little toe. I still don't know if mine is broken or just bruised. But it really doesn't make a difference pain-wise or like healing-wise, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I can't wear any shoes that are firm on top. I need shoes that are really, really soft, and I mostly own Doc Martens and shoes like in that kind of a realm, and I cannot wear any of them. So I needed to buy a pair of winter boots that are really, really soft, and the only ones I could find are like Ugg knockoffs, which I personally really don't like how they look, but I don't have a choice. So I had to buy some so that I can actually wear shoes outside, because the only pair of shoes I can wear at the moment that I had were some really, really thin summer sports shoes, and it's not the weather for those. So yeah, I had to. It was really annoying having to pay for that, but I kind of don't have a choice. Otherwise, I would have a lot of pain while walking, and that doesn't make any sense either. So yeah, that is kind of also an annoying thing today. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now, and I will see you tomorrow with a summary of how I liked the book and what the ending was like feeling-wise, but not topic-wise. Okay, it is Friday now. I have had a really good reading day. I finished reading Absolution, and I gave it 5 stars. I started the year with a 5-star read, which is, in my opinion, the best start to the year one can have reading-wise. I really loved it. I think the ending was really, really fitting. We did get to know the first expedition that ever went into Area X. It was crazy. I do understand when a lot of people get to that part that they might not like it, because there's a lot of swearing, and I know that some people are really sensitive to that. So be warned that the last part of the book is full of fucks. That is the main swear word, but like it's like full, because of the character that we get to know in that part. So be aware of that. I do know that some people don't like it. I personally don't care either way. I mean, words are words. I don't think using swear words is a problem, but if you do have a problem with it, be careful. Other than that, yeah, I think the ending was great. I think it was what I expected. We didn't get any answers really, which is what I wanted, kind of. But we did get some like background knowledge about what happens in the other 3 books and where it kind of started and stuff like that, even though we still know next to nothing about all the happenings that go on through the 4 books. I feel like it's like a really open-ended series, and I love it for this series. I know a lot of other series where I didn't like it. For this one, I really loved it. But I do get why people don't like the books. I can understand why this book and the Annihilation series is definitely not for everybody. And I can also understand, if you've read Area X, like the 3 books, the Southern Reach trilogy, why you wouldn't like that maybe. I can also understand that. I think the other ones are a bit more palatable than this one. This one goes a little bit in like the crazy, weird category of book, and I loved it. So yeah, I'm really happy that it's a 5-star read. I finished like 170 pages or something like that this morning. I had a blast reading it. It's perfect. I am so happy that I bought it. And coming with that, let's do a little bit of a book haul. So obviously, first I bought this one. I'm also at 200 books now again, which we now have to read 50 books this year from my TBR. So let's start with the ones that arrived first, and these are Firestarter by Stephen King, because I have decided that every time I will buy books this year, I will buy one Stephen King book. Also, I have decided that like I will do like a new book haul, and then when I buy a book next, I will buy used books again, so that I switch the 2, because I do think it's sensible to buy secondhand books, but I do also want new books, so I think changing it up every time is a sensible thing. But yeah, I bought Firestarter. It sounded really interesting. I do want to get through all of the Stephen King books at some point, so I just picked one randomly that I thought sounded good. So yeah, that is the next Stephen King book I will read. And then I bought one that I had on my wish list since it came out, I think, and that is The Hollow Ones by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. I am a really big fan of Guillermo del Toro. I love his movies. I have read Pan's Labyrinth, which I also really loved, which is together with like a German author, Cornelia Funke, which I found really interesting. But yeah, I really love that book. And this is, I think, a vampire story coupled with like our main character is an FBI agent, and so it has something to do with like a murder investigation, and then him finding out that it's some kind of like weird person who did it, and I think it had something to do with vampires, but I'm not sure anymore. But I do know that like I love the author, and I do love me a good horror book, and I think that is what Guillermo del Toro is really good at. So let's hope that he's good in this book, which, you know, I'm really looking forward to reading that one. And then I bought a series upon a recommendation, so let's hope I will like it. To be honest, I just bought the complete series because it was way cheaper than buying them separate. So if I don't like them, I can always sell them again or just donate them. But yeah, it was cheaper in the end to just buy all four directly, and that is this series. Does it have a title? Yeah, The Faithful and the Fallen books. And the first one is Malice. And I got recommended these under, I don't know which video, I can't remember right now. They do sound really interesting, so I am looking forward to starting the series. And I think the first book is Malice. So yeah, I have no idea what these are about, other than that they are fantasy, pretty obviously. I do like the book design, so I'm really happy with that. But yeah, I do know pretty much next to nothing about these books, but they were recommended to me, and they sounded interesting when I read the blurb, which I already forgot all about. But yeah, I decided to get this series because I did want to have some new fantasy that I'm excited about, because I don't have that much fantasy on my TBR that I'm really excited about, so I needed some new ones. And yeah, they were quite cheap actually. I think I paid 28 euros for all four together, which I think is actually really, really good price for like four books if you think about it. So that is why I bought the four together, because I think separate they would have been like 11 euros per book, which would have been like 13 euros more or something like that than these. So yeah, I think that is quite a steal. So yeah, obviously I've chosen my next book, which I'm just so excited to read this, and I am in the mood for horror books, so the next one I will read is The Hollow Ones. I will start this tomorrow morning, and I will give you an update how I like it then. And we'll see. It's also a nice short book, which I think is a good like switch up after this one. I mean, this isn't the biggest one, but it was over 400 pages, so I am in the mood for a little bit of a shorter book. And I think this one, yeah, this one has 300 pages, so I think that is quite a good length, especially since these are bigger, and Firestarter, I mean, it's a Stephen King, you know, it's bigger. But yeah, that is the plan for tomorrow morning. And yeah, other than that, I did crochet quite a bit. I finished my first panel for my top, which is this one. I did go with like a violet and black stripe and like a double crochet. So this is the first panel. I might need to add one more stripe. I'm not quite sure, because I do want to just try it on when I pin it together to see how long it is. I don't want it to be too long. But yeah, and then I did like most of this morning, so I'm now working on the back panel, and then I can put the two together, try them on, see if I need to add something. But yeah, that is pretty much what I did today. And I'm also, if you haven't heard about the series Secret Level on Amazon Prime, you need to watch it, especially if you're a gamer. It's by the makers of Love, Death and Robots, and they did an animated series about games. Like, they are all different animated shorts with a video game as a topic, and they look so good. They are so good. I'm like halfway through, I think, and I'm loving them all. So that is what I'm watching. But it's crocheting, and that is pretty much all I'm gonna do today. So yeah, that is a way too long update I'm seeing right now. But yeah, that is pretty much how it's going. I'm having a really good start reading-wise to this year, and I know it's not sustainable, obviously. But I'm just, you know, I'm just enjoying the happiness I get through a good book. I think that is really important. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading The Hollow Ones tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully it's good. I'm really hoping it's good. And yeah, I'm also looking forward to this series, like really. I just need to like split these up a little bit throughout the year so that I don't read all of the new books at once and then I'm stuck with the old ones again. I think that is also not the most sensible thing. So we'll see how it goes there. But yeah, quick little update. I will see you tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about the hot ones. Okay, we're sitting here because of my crocheting, but I did want to give you an update. I did start the hollow ones this morning, but I didn't get super far because I was really tired. I am just really tired today. Now I've drank coffee, but like before that I was like barely there, to be honest. So I just read 35 pages, which is a little bit, which is better than nothing. So yeah, it starts as a pretty run-of-the-mill thriller, I would say. We have two characters we are following. We have two FBI agents, like one is like an older one, and then we have the second one who's still in training, and who gets like, the other one takes him under his wing and takes him with her, or her. It's a woman, I think, the one that is still in training, yes. And they have this case where like somebody is involved in like a crime with like his company and stuff, and so his wife divorced him, like for pretty obvious reason, if your partner is like a criminal. And yeah, they have that case, and they are at the point where they are like looking through all of the files and stuff like that, the boring part of the job. And then they get notifications that there is a plane flying over New York City, and it's just, is it New York City? I want to say it's New York. What is... Okay, it's flying over Manhattan. So that is New York, is it not? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm not good with American geography. But yeah, so they hear that a plane is flying overhead, and then they get some information that lets them think that maybe the person they are investigating is flying the plane and hurting people, because the plane is like shooting everywhere. And so they don't know where the plane is going, but it's going roughly in the direction where the ex-wife of the guy is living in like their house still, with the, I think, two daughters or like three, I don't know, some children. And they drive there in anticipation of the guy going there, and the guy actually goes there. And the older FBI agent, like, he goes in first and she goes in second, and she can hear gunshots, and she's like, oh my god, what is happening? And when she comes in, she finds the woman already dead by a knife wound, and then she finds the first child also dead by a knife wound, and then she hears like fighting, and the older FBI agent and the husband are fighting, and then whilst they are fighting, she's like realizing, oh my god, like the FBI agent is kind of trying to kill the husband, and she's like, oh my god, what is happening here? And so she shoots the husband, because she thinks that obviously he tried to kill his family, because that is the thing that makes sense. But then they hear the second child, so I think it might just be two children, and that is still alive, and obviously she doesn't know anything is wrong, so the older FBI agent goes first to the child, and she thinks he wants to comfort the child, but actually he tries to kill the child. And so she's forced to shoot her partner, because she's like, what the heck is going on? And then it ends with like the thing of like, yeah, and then she shoots him, and there's like this dark cloud that comes out of him, and then he dies, and the child is like still alive. She just has a shoulder wound, I think, from the knife. And that is pretty much the point where I stopped reading this morning. So yeah, up to that point we are pretty much like FBI thriller, which with like a touch supernatural. So we'll see where this will go. I will continue with this tomorrow morning, and we'll see how far I come. I'm not rushing through it, so I'm going by like how much energy I have in the day, so we'll see. But you will have to wait for next week's video to find out what I think about this book, because I will end the vlog today, because it makes it easier to edit for me personally. And then what I did then, because for crocheting I don't need that much brain power, I don't have to be that awake, to be honest, I finished the second panel, and then I added another row onto the first panel, because it was a little bit too short, like both of them. And so now what I will do in a minute is like connect the two on the shoulders, so that it kind of like has like I don't know what you would call the neckline. I haven't done a neckline so that it's just sitting kind of like this, and then the shoulders are connected here so that it's giving me like a really wide neckline. And then I have to decide if I want to do the arms striped or like one black, one purple arm. I'm not quite sure. I might need to like sketch it quickly. Not that I'm in any way capable of doing a nice sketch, but you know, just to get a feel for the color. And then I can start doing the arms, which is the next part. But like, yeah, I really like it. I like the color combo, so I'm really happy with it. So far, I think it will look nice. It will look quite nice as like a throw over, which is what I want, which is why I'm not shaping the neckline, because I don't want it to be something fancy. I want it to be like an everyday throw over like a top in summer, something, you know, works over everything. So I think that should work. So yeah, that is what I did. I did quite a bit of that, and I will continue with that in a minute because I'm in a mood for crocheting today. So that is what I'm mainly doing. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I cut my finger whilst cutting stuff for salad. I have like one of those chopping devices, and the blade is really, really sharp. I did not realize that, and I washed it up, and then I slipped on the wet plastic, and I slipped right into the blade, which, yeah, I don't know, annoying if you ask me. But yeah, that is kind of the update for today, and I will end the vlog here. I had a really nice start to the year with some really good reading. I hope you have started equally as well into the new year, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!